My name is Geoff Revell. I work at WaterSHED in Cambodia, and I'm the program director. I've been involved in several projects where we've needed to make prototypes rapidly for different products like a toilet shelter, the superstructure of a latrine, a hand washing station, and even the toilet itself. With one example, we've produced a hand washing product called HappyTap, and it's made out of plastic. And one of the challenges with prototyping a plastic product is that if it's made with an injection molding process, you really only get one chance to make the final product, and you can't iterate it very often. I'm not a designer, but I was shocked at how many permutations and combinations of how it's placed. Is it hung on the wall? Is it set on the ground? Is it a tap like a faucet, or is it a shower head? How many holes in the shower head? What color? What shape? What size? So to explore those, we tried to think about what are the big feature changes, and then we made mock-ups of each of those. I think we ended up with a dozen, and put those devices that were mocked up into households so that a household got 1 week using a prototype, and then we gave them one more. So we called it a head-to-head competition. We got feedback on both of them. What did they like about one versus the other? And we did enough tests so that we had a head-to-head between all the different major product types. It allowed us to focus on the major feature things because they were all equally kind of ugly and equally hacked together. I suppose we need to use the right type of prototype for the right type of feedback that we want to get. We just can't say, let's learn everything about the product from this prototype or from that prototype. If we want to learn about dimensions, then let's focus on that. But if we want to learn about the aesthetics, we need to be cognizant, because we can't just say, here's a very rapidly thrown together out of cardboard type toilet shelter and now give us feedback on everything. With prototypes, one of the dangers, I think, well, maybe danger is a too strong of a word, but one of the dangers when using prototypes can be that people get fixated on the tangible aspects. And we gravitate towards things that we can see and touch, you know, knock on it, kick the tires, feel it, shake it, and stuff like that. And there was an aha moment that I had when I talked to a number of users, realized that they were looking at the HappyTap as a way to jump into that lifestyle and not have to plumb their whole house, because nobody does that. But if we had stuck on the way the handle turns, or the way the bucket is held, or how many liters of water were in it, we would never really get behind that. So I think what I've learned is always probe deeper, always go behind and look for the qualitative stuff, not the function or feature stuff. And in fact, there's always a tension in the process of user-centered design, at least in my head, which is the oft-quoted Henry Ford statement about if we had asked them what they wanted, they would have just said faster horses. And being able to see that what people really mean is X. So how do we deliver that? But there's, at the other end of the spectrum, there's a vision of a designer or of an entrepreneur who's thinking of something utterly new. And even more new might be a new product category. So not just a better mousetrap, but an entirely new kind of thing. That tension between taking input from users and also just sort of almost rolling the dice and making a bet on a vision that you have or that an entrepreneur has is a challenging thing to know. So a lot of lean startup methodology says, go for minimum viable product. And that sounds good, but knowing what's minimum viable, that's really tricky and probably more art than science.